Does this look familiar? You've set your shutter speed, you've moved the camera, and what you got looks nothing like the dreamy painterly image you were hoping for. Just blur. So today, I want to talk about the most common mistakes in ICM photography, because every single one of these I made myself. And once you know what they are, your images are going to transform. Welcome! If you are new here, I am Eva Polak, and I've been teaching Impressionist photography for many years. ICM, intentional camera movement, it's one of my absolute favorite techniques. It is intuitive, it is expressive, and honestly, it's pure joy. But when you're starting out, it can also feel incredibly frustrating. So let's fix that. The very first mistake beginners make is assuming that any movement equals art. But there is a crucial difference between accidental blur and intentional camera movement. ICM, it's not about shaking the camera randomly. It's about directing the movement with purpose. Think of it like painting. You wouldn't just drag a brush across a canvas without intention. Every movement tells a story. When you move vertically through a forest, you are echoing the rise of the trees. When you pen horizontally across a field of wildflowers, you are creating a flowing rhythm that feels natural to that scene. Before you press the shutter, ask yourself, what movement makes sense for that scene? Let the subject guide your direction. Shutter speed is everything in ICM, and beginners almost always start either too fast or too slow. Too fast, and the movement is barely registered. You just end up with slightly blurry photo. Too slow, and all the beautiful color and light collapses into unreadable smear. The sweet spot? Generally between 1/10 of a second and 2 seconds, depending on your subject and how fast you are moving. I always suggest starting at 1/10 of a second. It gives you just enough time to create movement, while still retaining the color and shapes that makes an ICM image sing. Use your camera shutter priority mode. It lets you set the shutter speed, and your camera handles the rest. Check your results on the LCD often. Adjust, experiment, that's how you learn. When you're learning ICM, subject choice matters enormously. And this is where so many beginners trip up. They are trying to photograph complex, detailed scenes. And when the movement strips away all the details, there is nothing left to look at. ICM is about reducing a scene to its essence. Simple shapes, strong colors, clean lines. Trees are a wonderful starting point. Their vertical lines respond beautifully to an upward sweep. A field of golden grass, a shoreline at dusk. These subjects have strong tonal areas and they hold the impression even after the movement. Train yourself to see like an Impressionist painter. Break the scene in front of you into areas of color and shape. If you can simplify it mentally, the camera movement will do the rest. Here is a mistake that it's easy to miss: a distracting background. In traditional photography, you might blur the background with a wide aperture. In ICM, the movement affects the entire frame. so a messy, cluttered background doesn't disappear. It turns into a messy, cluttered blur. Before you shoot, take a moment to look at what's behind your subject. Is the background simple? Is it tonally harmonious? A clean, dark or light background can make your ICM image look absolutely ethereal. Strive for simplicity, not just in your subject, but in entire frame. I want to say something that may surprise you. In ICM photography, the number of frames you take is directly related to how many keepers you get. This is a technique when the results are, by nature, somehow unpredictable. The light shifts, your movement changes slightly, the moment is different, and suddenly, that frame is the magical one. When I first started, I've had shots where I took over 100 frames and found 3 that I truly love. And those 3 were worth every single one of the others. Don't be precious. This isn't the place to take one considerate shot and walk away. Shoot generously. Experiment widely. Try different speeds, different movements, different angles. The camera is your brush. And painters don't stop after one stroke. This one is perhaps the most important thing I will say today. Stop calling your unexpected results failures. One of the most beautiful things about ICM is that happy accidents are part of the process. Some of my most loved images come from a movement I hadn't planned. The unpredictability is not the enemy. It's part of the magic. What separates an experienced ICM photographer from a beginner isn't that they make fewer mistakes. It is that they learn to see the potential in unexpected results and build on them. With every image that surprises you, ask yourself, what did I do there? And how could I do it with more intention next time? Your EXIF data is your teacher. Check it after every session. Bright sunshine, perfect golden hour, clear skies. These are the conditions most photographers dream of. But for ICM, some of the most beautiful results come from the weather that others run from. Overcast days give you soft, diffuse light that saturates color and removes harsh shadows. Rain, drizzle, and mist soften edges and transform ordinary scenes into something otherworldly. Reframe your thinking. Bad weather, it's not an obstacle, it's an invitation. ICM photography is a journey, and it's one of the most joyful ones I know. The mistakes I've just shared with you are not reasons to feel discouraged. They are steps on the path. Every photographer who has ever created a beautiful Impressionist image once stood where you are now, confused, experimenting, sometimes frustrated. But then something shifts. You start to see differently. You stop trying to capture the world as it is and start capturing the world as it feels. And that changes everything. If you would like to go deeper, I have courses and my books on Impressionist photography on my website, evapolak.com. I would love to continue this journey with you there. And if this video helps you, please give it a like. Leave a comment below with the mistake you recognized most. I'd love to hear from you. Until then, go make some beautiful mistakes.